Yo, what's good, my fellow deadheads? Your overlord has returned with yet another video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the influx of JJK content. I have been enjoying myself, just having a jovial time going about and just talking about all of these things that are not confirmed but are very likely to happen, I would say so. But let's go ahead and just dive right into our topic for today. I'm going to be talking about the original story and what they could do with it to revive it in some way, shape, form, or capacity, because anybody who has read Jujutsu Kaisen would know that it is a very short story, so it's not really, I'm gonna be honest, it's really not, it's not as long as everybody thinks. The fights are just very long because the fights are very elaborate. But when the fights are put into episodic format, I feel like stuff goes by a lot faster. I don't know. Because it's all just fighting. So like, you know, so much stuff can just be, instead of explained to you, can just more so be like shown to you with proper framing and, you know, artwork. So it's just like, I feel like it goes by a lot faster than we actually realize. So I feel like the original story was probably something that was definitely going to be a saving grace for them in the long run. But I will explain that. First, I would like to say, if you have been enjoying the content, you can go down below, you can hit the like, you can hit the subscribe, you can hit the notification bell so you can get notified every single time the dead man decides to glide. And you can comment down below and let me know what you want to know. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the topic of the video. So guys, if you do not know what happened with the main story, basically the main story used to be all one big thing long ago, and then they eventually added a system where the two story modes were split because they decided to stop trying to incorporate an original story mode into the game. Rather, they thought that they would wanted to do the original story from the actual show and then just kind of keep their story mode separate. Now, even though it says that this story mode is on epilogue, yes, literally, this is the epilogue right here. For the story mode, I feel like they could always bring this back if they feel like it. So the name of this arc is called the Fukuoka Branch Campus arc. And I'll be honest with you, this is just an extra jujutsu school, basically. So they definitely could incorporate their own original stories from in the game into the game, right? It stands to reason that they should be able to do that. I mean, they can literally add more cursed spirits to the Phantom Metal shop with this because of Rosetsu or the other cursed spirits whose names I don't remember. I just remember Rosetsu because that time I tried to beat him on stream and the game kept freezing every damn time I tried to get into the fight or whatever, right? We could see more variants of Saki, we could see more variants of Kaito, and we could even see their principal set up as a character as well. It's just so much extra real estate they had in this that they really didn't use. And I'm not saying that I like miss it by any means, but literally, as I just said, JJK is a very short story, so it's just like, how much extra stuff do you have to keep us occupied, you know, by time, like, before we get to the end of the story in this game, and before we also, they have to just do stuff to hold us off because the anime is going to take a long time to finish the rest of the story. It usually does. That's just the sad reality of it. Anime studios have been getting a lot faster about getting the next season out, but even still, it's probably going to be a while before we get season 4 after season 3. We've gotten information that they've started season 3, I believe, but we don't have information on exactly when season 3 is coming. So it's just like all this stuff being animated is in the air. So it's just like, what else are they going to be doing to keep content relevant in this show? We are literally in the Shibuya incident right now, and the end of the last season we have in the anime is the Shibuya incident. So maybe they could actually reintroduce the original story during the actual story mode. And I'll be honest with you, y'all are thinking like, what else could they do with Saki and what else could they do with Yuki, right? Bro, very simple stuff. Okay, something simple for Yuki. Now, instead of him just doing barriers around people or around himself or whatever, this man's fine-tuned his power so much he can put barriers around somebody's like soul, and when he puts a barrier around their soul or something like that, he can essentially block off their curse technique, right? Just something random off the top of my head. I'm not even the person writing JJK. I'm not even the person who made the original story up, but I'm just like, that's a very just clear route that a person's powers could evolve to give us more interesting characters in the future. This man could be one of the godliest debuffers in the game, where he like debuffs with most of his skills, and then he has good DPS as well, because like, okay, now my power is being used up to negate their skills. Now I gotta get more, you know, tactile, a little more crazy with the hand-to-hand combat, right? Just like a whole, I just made this man a whole character arc, just sitting here, right? Then we got Saki over here, Rindo over here. She has those magical like gauntlets, or she has the curse wraps around her hands, and I guess she channels her energy through her hands. Like literally, she could get wraps for her whole damn arms if she wanted to. She could enhance her whole damn arms, her legs, whatever. She could get wraps for her whole damn body and turn into a whole MMA fighter if she wants to. Who cares? But I'm just saying that the opportunities are there, and they can literally use these things to just make new story modes. Because with new story modes also comes more cubes, and also this right here is the Phantom Parade Pass section of the game. Glad we could get you acquainted with it, but don't get too acquainted with it. That means you're spending money if you are acquainted with it, basically. But this right here is just popped up today, right? They have random little campaigns where you can get extra rewards for just existing sometimes. But two of the things they added in here was the story pass and then the Fukuoka branch pass, right? And basically it was just a whole line of rewards you could get for beating the original story mode and then also beating the Fukuoka branch story mode as well. And I do not find it hard to believe in my mind that they would bring both of those back in a heartbeat. Or they're not going, they're still in the game, they're always in the game. Mine are just going because I already paid for the premium version of it, so I got every reward from that you could get. But there's no doubt in my mind that they can't just do story mode cumulative login pass part 2 and a Fukuoka branch login pass part 2, right? And I don't even remember where the Fukuoka branch ended, but quite literally, I can tell you right now, it was just sorcerers fighting curses. That is the entire premise of JJK. So even though the big bad curse got defeated in that arc, there's just always another curse. And if they're creating game original curses, that either gives us more character, and every one of them doesn't have to be like a disaster curse, right? They don't have to be a fully naturally occurring curse. Some of them could be curses that are kind of like made through like some Kenjaku sort of means, right? So some of them could actually be like banner level units, but it's just like they just had so much extra opportunity to use with that. And again, I'm really just thinking about it now. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to hold us off until what is the first anniversary going to be? If not the end of the Shibuya incident, right before the end of the Shibuya incident. We're already at the point in the Shibuya incident where Yuji's fighting Chozo. So that means that if you've not watched the anime, bro, that is on you. I do not feel bad about spoiling anime stuff. But if we're to the point where Yuji is fighting Chozo, that means that we're about to be to a point where Chozo is about to have a change of heart. I won't say why, I'll be nice. Chozo's about to have a change of heart, and then he's going to become an ally to Yuji, and then they're all about to pull up on this man Noritoshi Kamo. Because Yuji also has to fight Mahito as well? No, that happened earlier on, did it not? Dude, so much happens in the Shibuya incident. And it all happens in the span of like 10, 15 freaking minutes, bro. And it's just so much like back to back to back stuff going on. But like basically, yes, we are getting really close to the end of the Shibuya incident. So it's not... What else are we going to do to get the rest of this stuff up? And honestly, I would be down for original story for all of the reasons I said before. You know, new characters, free cubes, just whatever, right? But really more so for the longevity of the game. I feel like the game is actually just very good, and it has very good aspects from a lot of different games. There are still things that it can improve upon, yes, but like we're literally still not even in the first year for global, and like it's about to be the second year for JP. So it's like I feel like games do take a bit of time to get all of their basic things established, right? Like Dokkan didn't have all of its basic stuff established until like year 2, year 3 maybe even, right? But and honestly, releasing LRs for their major celebrations is a major thing as well. So I'd say Dokkan took like 3 years to get established at a very like base level what they wanted for the game, and then they built on top of that. And yes, the first 3 years were an accumulation of building, but after those first 3 years, it felt complete. You know what I'm saying? After the first 3 years, we had a hidden potential system. We had a use for the duplicates for our characters. We had LR characters. They were our big celebration units. We had, you know, all these different game modes. It was just different. The landscape of the game had just changed so much, but it felt like, okay, we are at this base level now. We had leader skill metas, all this different stuff. But nonetheless, I think that the original story is probably making a very big comeback. Also, if you guys do enjoy videos like this where I just kind of like share my ideas, share my ramblings, or anything like that, then you can go down below and you can leave a like on the video down below, because the Dead Man does work hard for you, even though I make it look so good, so effortless, you know, existing like this. But the Dead Man does put in some hard work for you. So if you could leave a like down below, I would definitely appreciate it. You could also hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time Dead Man gives them hell. And then also, you can go down below and you can leave your comments. You can let me know, do you think that the original story is coming back? I think we have no choice but for the original story to come back, because what else are we going to do? We can't pause in the story mode because the anime isn't updating episodes. I think right now, best case scenario for what we're seeing right now is that we get to our anniversary, maybe JJK's like next season is announced or something like that, and then like we're getting releases for stuff in the game coinciding with the anime, and then like we switch over to original story for a little while, you know, a few months, few years, whatever, until they decide to get that next season of JJK out. And plus, gacha games are just such a profitable industry now that I think that maybe even the animation studios or the mangakas themselves are even like trying to get their hands in all of it and work on all of it to make sure that like everything is getting the proper care that it needs. But I think because of that, it also does take a lot more time amongst everything, because they're waiting for the main guy to get in on everything, right? But again, if you guys did enjoy the video, you can do all the things that I said before and more. And remember, the Dead Man does love you and hope for the best for you. But y'all have an excellent day. Hope your Shoko summons are going well. We gon' get it. Y'all have an excellent day. Peace out.